Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to my God of War Ragnarok walkthrough for all of the main quests in the game. This walkthrough will not only offer tips for defeating challenging enemies and bosses, but will give you solutions to every puzzle found in the quest and the location of all collectibles. I aim to cover most of the loot as well. This video is part 13 as I take you through the Creatures of Prophecy quest, and you can find more main quests linked down in the video description and in the pinned comment. Before we head out to do the Creatures of Prophecy quest, it's a great time while at Sindri's just to get everything upgraded. This is a big quest. You're going to go on quite a journey on this one. It's going to be a long one, so make sure you upgrade everything you can before you leave. Once ready, just head outside and interact with the Mystic Gateway. It is also a good opportunity at this point to go and clear up any favours that you may have. If you've picked up some along the way, you can go and complete some of these now and just go and get some extra loot to do some better upgrades or whatnot. And there is some guides down below in my video description if you want some guides for some of those favours. But if you're happy to continue with the main quest and follow this Creatures of Prophecy guide, you want to travel to Vanaheim. And at Vanaheim, you want to travel to the Mystic Gateway of Freyr's camp. Once at the Freyr's camp gateway, there might be some loot on this shore that we covered in a previous walkthrough, so if you did miss it, let's have a quick look around. There might be some hack silver and artifact if I remember correctly. But once you check that, just get on the boat and want to head to the left. Now, if you've explored this area before because you've done some favours or whatnot after a previous quest again, there would have been a log blocking this path. If you've never been into this area, you are going to just need to use a sonic arrow to get rid of the log before you jump on the boat. With it gone, we can travel through, and there's a path. We've got left or right. Left is an area where there's lots of side quests, loads of favours you can go and complete. There's also an Yggdrasil dew hanging from that branch in front of me, so if you've not been here before, just pick that up. And then over to the right, there's some hack silver in a barrel. For this quest, we want to head over to the right as we head to Freyr's camp. Once you get to the shore to the right, just press circle. You won't need to travel too far at all, but you're going to notice this wind vent here. So just get your spear out. We're going to need to press L1 and R1 on that to get our spear into it. And with that in place, if we just look to the right, there's another wind vent there. We just want to throw another spear into that one. With both spears in place, we can now use them to get across these two gaps. And once across, just push forward. You'll soon enter Freyr's camp. In my earlier walkthrough on another mission, we covered this rune reed here. If you haven't got it, just be sure to collect it. But what we couldn't cover earlier on in the walkthrough series is the legendary chest across here. So jump across the gap. Now we've got the spear, we're able to uncover this wall. Just again, L1 and R1 with the spear on the wall. Press triangle to detonate it. And you'll find a legendary chest. With that collected, we just want to head back to the center of the camp now, and we're going to notice that it has been abandoned. Just interact with the leftover food here for a cutscene. After the cutscene, you'll just want to interact with this door to exit the camp. With no loot to collect, just proceed forward until you get to this point here, where he mentions that Freyr mentioned you had a way to pass this. And we do with our spear. So L2 and R1 again, press triangle to destroy it. And we can now move forward. The Creatures of Prophecy quest officially starts from this moment. Just keep following the path now, drop down this ledge. There's going to be a plant here, so be careful not to get hurt by it. Climb up this ledge, and to the right you just want to swing across this gap. And just continue the path forward with more plants trying to attack you, so be careful of them. Hop over the ledge, you're going to squeeze through this gap. On the other side of the gap, there is a fierce stalker. This may be the first time you've encountered one of these, but if you attempted the Yggdrasil rift in one of my previous walkthroughs, you would have fought one of these and you'll be absolutely fine. This is no different to that one. Your blades or axe is strong against this enemy, so use whichever you prefer. I prefer the Chaos Blades just because it allows a little bit more breathing room, and they're just quicker to like go into a dodge when you're attacking than the axes. And the Stalker's attacks aren't too difficult to dodge. It does have a few unblockable ones, so just be mindful of that red circle that you see, and just barrel roll out the way when you see it, and try and dodge the other attacks with L1. If you do a parry, it's a great opportunity to do some damage. And like with any other enemy on this game, it's just a case of dodging their attacks and then dealing some damage. If for whatever reason this is too difficult, just drop the difficulty level to make it really easy. You will get these wisps that spawn as well during the encounter. Just make sure you use Atreus's bow to get them stunned to be able to actually do any damage to them and finish them. And I just noticed there is this log on the ground here. If you do get the enemy near that log and interact with circle on it, it does cause a lot of damage if the enemy is caught in the blast. With the area clear and near to where you entered the area, we now just want to go through this gap here. Just follow the path around, jumping over this gap and climb up this ledge. There's a health stone if you need it to the left. I'm just going to jump down this gap here to the right for another enemy encounter. With all the enemies clear, there's now a legendary chest that we can get. With the spear, just find this pillar, L1, R1 on it as you do, and press triangle to destroy it. That's now going to enable you to climb this wall to the top. And once at the top, we just want to follow these wooden beams all the way to the legendary chest.
Has Brock been helping them out this whole time?
Ah, you haven't met Lunda yet. Who's Lunda? An old contemporary of the Hulder brothers. She serves as Freyr's blacksmith, keeping his
From the chest, we could just spin to the right here and drop down to continue. You'll be back in the previous area before the enemy encounter, just a little quicker this way. Just press circle to go back through this gap, and you'll notice you're just here where you jump across this gap and climb up this ledge. This time when you drop down here, this time when you drop back into this area again, just head over to the left in this corner where you're going to find a gap in the trees that you can crawl through. Just keep following the path forward and you'll come to this intersection with a left or a right. Just look right and you can use your spear on this wall. And just through this newly formed passage, there's going to be a hacksilver chest on the left hand side. Just be careful of the plant that's going to try and kill you in the distance there. And then from this pouch of hacksilver, just push forward a bit to where the plant was. And look behind you. And you're going to see one of Odin's ravens up in this tree. Just to the left of your position here, get your Blades of Chaos out and use a sigil arrow on these vines. You'll be able to just burn them away to find a red coffin. It's going to be an enemy in between that red coffin and you. Just deal with that first. There'll also be an enemy behind you with one of those singing ones, which stops it from being killed. So you're going to have to go and kill him. And with them all dead, we'll be able to open this red coffin. And from the red coffin, we can just spin around and continue the path straight ahead. And you will notice this hacksilver pouch just on the floor on the right here. From this hacksilver pouch, there is a fork in the path. The quest wants you to go right, but if we just head left, we're going to find a scroll on the ground. And then keep on going left from this scroll and up the steps. And you're going to find a Nornir chest at the top. This is quite easy to open. Just get your axe out and straight away up to the left of the Nornir chest. You'll see one of these spinner things. Just hit the right or left paddle until you get a letter on the Nornir chest. With that one done, retrieve your axe and just head back down the stairs a little bit, and to the right you're going to see another one. However, it's got loads of brambles over it, so if you just come to the left of this tree, you're in a perfect position here just to create like a chain sigil. So just press L2 and square the sigil arrows, making sure they connect to the brambles. Make it bigger if you want, and just put another one here, and then you'll be able to interact with your Blades of Chaos to create a chain reaction and burn the brambles. With them burnt away, get your axe back out, and now you can just hit this one to get another letter off of the Norner chest. So you can see 2 letters are done now. The final one that we need to hit is just to the left under this arch, but there is going to be an enemy to kill before we can get it. Just go ahead and kill this enemy. And with the enemy dead, we can just push to the end of this platform, and you're gonna see it in the distance all the way over there. Quite hard to see, but it's right in front of you, and we're looking for the sea here. Just aim a little bit high with your axe because of the distance, and keep going until you get the letter that you need. And there we have it. With all 3 done, we can head back to the Norner chest and open it for our reward. With that collected, we've now got all the loot from this area, so we can head back down these steps and go back to that fork in the path. And now we just want to take the left fork now, just here, to continue on with the quest. Just keep moving forward on this path. There's no loot here. You're just trying to get to Skoll and Hati's den. After finding the wolves and having seen the prophecy, we know that we need to go and find the moon and return it to the wolves to awaken them. So just to the right of them, there's just a passage here that we can just go through. And just follow the path for a short while until you come out into the light here. Just to the left, you're going to see a hanging basket and one of these spitting plants. Just take out the spitting plants as you approach it. And with that dead, we could just knock down this hanging loot basket to collect the loots. Just be mindful of the plant here as well. It's going to try and kill you. And once you've dealt with that, just push forward a little bit for this hack silver pouch. And with that collected, just push forward to find this poisonous gas. You can see the plant right in front of you. It's just with your axe L2 and R2 to freeze it. This will stop the gas and enable you to push through. And once far enough, you'll be in a safe area. You can just notice the outline of the gas so you know you're safe. You can recall your axe knowing that you're safe and put the axe into the next poisonous plant. That'll freeze that gas and you'll be able to walk through that. After passing through the gas, be sure to get your axe back because you're going to have an enemy encounter. And with the enemies dealt with, pick up any loot that they drop, and you just want to interact with this fence here with your blades of chaos to then go through. There'll be another enemy right in front of you, but they'll quickly teleport away. Just left of that enemy, just past the campfire, is a rune reed.
Fitting.
With that red, we can just spin around and want to drop down the ledge over here in the corner. And then as you drop down, you're going to see that enemy again in the hut in front. Just grapple across to that hut and the enemy will disappear again.
There she is again.
Before following the enemy, just look to your right here for a hack silver chest.
Find it easier to hide in the jungle and use nature as their...
So with that collected, we can't go in that direction where the enemy went. So we're just going to leave the hut to the left here. And rather than jump straight up the ledge to the right there, just hug round to the left and you will find a red coffin. With that collected, we can now go back round and climb this ledge. And what we're going to do is use our spear to get across to the other area. And once across to the other area, just get your spear out because we're going to need to deal with this wall. L2 and R1 followed by triangle will bring the wall down and then just proceed forward. You're expecting an ambush, but the area appears to be empty. There will be some rage and health on the floor, so pick up all that you can and just grapple across here before grappling across here and be ready for an ambush. It will be a little bit of a difficult encounter. A lot of the enemies, or all of them, will be teleporting and whatnot. But just block and fight and pick up any loot along the way, like any hack silver that they drop or whatnot. There's plenty of health bars and there's plenty of rage as well. I found one of the best tactics was just to keep on moving around the area. There's plenty of grapple points, and the enemy is quite slow when it does grapple to you and use the ledges and whatnot, so it's a great opportunity to inflict some good damage. What you want to do once the area is all clear is make your way up to this platform where they spawned in and ambushed you, and you're just looking for this chain here to drop. Just drop the chain and then lower down it.
Put the moon back where it belongs.
As you attempt to get the moon, an enemy is going to steal it. Just follow Atreus as you try and catch the enemy. Enemies will break through a wall and you're going to have to deal with them. The enemies defeated that broke through this wall just pass through the wall, and there's going to be an Odin's Raven right in front of you. So before you continue, just get your spear out or your axe and just take care of that Raven. And then the path you want to take is just right through this circular building. And if you go up the steps right in front of you, you're going to notice one of these air vents. To get that, you need a better angle. Just head to the left of the circular building. L1 and R1 to get a spear in that. And then you've got that spear and you can use that to get across. Once across this gap, there is going to be another enemy encounter. Just keep following Atreus until you reach them and then deal with them. In this location, there is one of these tree trunks, so you can get the enemies quite close to you and press circle to interact with it, causing some good damage. And once those enemies are clear, you're just going to push forward to the end of the path here, get your spear out, and you'll be using the spear on this light on the wall here. Again with R1 and then triangle to destroy it. This will allow you to climb the wall and climb up the waterfall. As you're climbing the wall, you will notice that the path goes in two directions at this point. If you go to the right, it just seems like it's blocked for now, so don't worry about that. Just keep heading up and to the left to make it to the top. Once at the top, you're going to find the thief that you were chasing and the wyvern as well. It's the first time you're going to encounter one of these wyverns, and it can be a little bit of a difficult encounter. My advice here is to mainly focus on the thief that stole their moon, because they're the one that's going to be attacking you mostly, whereas the wyvern will focus Atreus for the most part. So deal with the thief first, just blocking the attacks, parrying and attacking as normal, and then once you've dealt with them, you can then work on the wyvern with Atreus. If this is too difficult at all, you can just drop the difficulty level. After the short cutscene and collecting the moon, there's nothing else in this area, so just proceed through the small gap right ahead. As you follow the path forward, you're going to come to this wind vent on the left. To the right of that is a hacksilver pouch. Just from here, get your spear out and just get a spear in this vent so that you can climb up to the ledge above. Once up, just follow this path with Atreus and you're heading back to the wolves now. There will be a few enemy encounters on the way. After a couple of encounters and dropping down this ledge, there will be a fork in the path, but it's where you've been before. You got the poison flower to the left. We've already been through there, so just want to head down the right path to go to Skoll and Hati's den. Through the cave, you'll just need to shimmy across this ledge, and there'll be a cutscene once you reach the wolves. After the cutscene, the wolves are going to have a gift for you, as Atreus states, and with this item you can now interact with objects throughout the world of God of War Ragnarok to change night into day. With the gift collected, you now need to head back to Hildisvini at the camp. Just follow Atreus, and again we're going to have some enemy encounters on the way. After killing the first set of enemies that spawn on this plant that's trying to kill you, there'll be a fork in the path. You don't want to go left, you just want to follow it right. There'll be another enemy encounter. After that encounter, just push forward until you reach this gap here, where you just got to crawl under. There's going to be an enemy encounter after this. On the other side, 2 Drekki are going to spawn in. These are hard enough when it's just one, to be fair, but with 2 of them it can be a little bit more difficult, obvious. They both got different elemental damage. We've got electric and poison. The purple one being the poison one, the blue one in front of me here being the electric one. Now, a lot of the time, one Drekki will disappear in the water and just throw throwables at you, just leaving you with one to manage. And the key here is just to keep on doing melee damage and blocking their attacks. If you can, ideally, you want to parry an attack to stun them, and that's going to give you the best opportunity to do the most damage. So if you do get them stunned, unleash everything you've got into the Dreki, including your rage. To be fair, they are not too difficult. You can stay close to get the job done because one will stay out the way pretty much. And they're easy to block the attacks. With one down, the other one is going to introduce some new attacks and be a little bit more offensive. So be prepared for that. But it's the same again. You're just blocking attacks, trying to parry any attacks to stun the Dreki so you can do good damage. If for any reason you're struggling here, just lower the difficulty, but it really isn't as bad as it first seems. Once both Drekis are dead and you do this final interaction, make sure you pick up all of the loots. And with the Drekis both defeated, we're going to head back to where we got a legendary chest earlier. We need to climb up this wall. If you didn't get it earlier, you just have to use your spear to break the wall to reveal the climb and climb up. At the top, you'll notice the legendary chest was over to the left over there where we went earlier, but now we've got a zip line we can use to get down. There'll be another enemy encounter after the zip line. And with the enemies clear, we've already looted this area. We can just push straight forward and crawl under the roots of this tree. Let's keep following the path back to Freyr's camp. You're going to grapple over this gap here. And we came from left earlier in quest when we were making our way through this area, but now it's nighttime. You'll notice that this barricade that was closed before is now open. We've got a hanging basket in there that we can use our axe on just to drop for some loot, but just be careful because in this area there is going to be some plants trying to kill you, so while collecting the loot, just take them out so they don't harm you and pick up your loot. With that collected, we can keep following this path back to camp and climb this ledge. There's going to be an intersection here with many different directions. Just go straight ahead into the cave with the torches. Go through the cave and the path is straightforward. Just follow the path all the way back to camp until you can interact with this door. Back in camp, you're going to meet Freyr, and you're now going to go with Freyr to the temple. Before you do, this is a great opportunity to get some upgrades, so be sure to do this. Going through the quest so far, you'll definitely have an upgrade to your Blades of Chaos, and do everything else that you can. With that done, we're just going to follow Freyr to the west, and we're going to continue the quest. You'll pass through the area that we used to get to Freyr's camp originally right at the start of the quest. So just pass through this cave and we want to board the boat that's on the river. As soon as we get on the boat, we're going to be taking a right here with a path that's now opened up. And you're going to notice this Yggdrasil dew right away, so collect that. Just follow this path in the river just a very short distance and you're going to come to this shore, dock the boat here and get off. Right in front of you as you get off, you're going to notice an enemy encounter, so just deal with these wisps. With the wisps defeated, you may recognize this area. We've already been here, there's not any loot to collect right now. Just keep moving forward and head under this tree. You'll reach this enemy that you need to deal with along with some wisps. With them defeated, we can just enter this crawl space, and on the other side of this, there's going to be another enemy encounter. This can be a tough encounter, to be honest with you. There's going to be a couple of poisonous plants. Use them to your advantage. If enemies are up on top of these ledges, you can kill those plants to cause some damage to them. Just kill them all, and then two kind of like tougher enemies will spawn at the very end, controlled by one of those singing enemies. I don't know all the names for these. We have to destroy the singing one first before you can kill the final two. If you're having too much difficulty here, do just drop the difficulty. With one soul clear, we can push forward. And just across the gap to the left, we're going to lift this stone pillar. On the other side of the pillar, there is going to be another enemy encounter. And there's two enemies that are singing, keeping these two guards alive. So we need to kill both of them first. One is in the open, as we can see here. So just chase him down to kill him. And with him dead, there's one more to go. In this area, you're going to notice on the large tree to the left that there's some bramble. We just need to burn this bramble away. That will reveal the other singing enemy, keeping them alive and protected. And they'll kill them with the fire. With that done, you can now take out these guards. With the area clear of enemies, the quest is going to take us up this ledge right in front of us that we need to grapple up. However, there's a tree branch that is blocking it right now. To unblock that, just to the right of the area is this ledge. Climb up these two ledges, and there's going to be a hack silver pouch on the floor next to a dead body, so be sure to pick that up. And with that collected, we just want to interact with this object here to turn night into day with the present that we got off the wolves. You'll notice that by turning night into day, things have changed. It's the same when you turn day into night. There's some paths that will be blocked either way, and you'll need it to be night or day to proceed. And in this instance, we need it to be day. So just drop back down to that ledge that was blocked earlier with the tree. We can now proceed up it. Just follow the path here, and at the end there is going to be another enemy encounter. With the area clear, you are in an area once visited before, so you probably already collected it, but there is a lore marker there if needed, and then you can push forward. You'll hop over a log and come to this area here where there's a red coffin up top. Just drop down the ledge, and you'll notice that you'll be able to use your spear on this pillar here. Just get your spear out, press L2 and R1, and you can use this now to get up the ledge to get the coffin. And with that collected, we can just drop down, head round the left to push forward. We're going to have these poisonous plants that we have to deal with, and there are 2 of them. So you're just going to use the sigil arrow on one. Just press up on the D-pad if you need to switch arrows, and then throw your axe at that to freeze it. That will stay frozen now when you remove the axe and throw it into the other plant there, allowing you to pass through. You'll reach this fork in the road. You want to head right at this fork. Just be wary of the plants trying to kill you, as always in this area. Let's head down this path. And at the end of the path, you're going to just crawl through this gap here. There will be an enemy encounter once you're in this area. These are not the easiest of encounters on this mission, as you've already noticed. There's a big area, though. Use the space to your advantage just to get away and deal with one at a time. There's some tankier enemies, too. You can always drop the difficulty if needed. But once the area is clear, you just want to climb up the ledge, and you want to head to this barricade here that you can use your Blades of Chaos on. And with the path unblocked, head forward. You'll notice this barrel here that you can use your sonic arrow on if you want. It may have some hack silver in it. And with that collected, just follow Freyr down this ledge. You'll jump over a log, and around the corner there's going to be another barrel that you can use a sonic arrow on. Again, to get some more hack silver. And from this, just head under the archway. As you head down these steps, you're going to notice an enemy over to the right, and it is a tough encounter, as Freyr will tell you if you approach it. You can completely ignore it though and continue your quest and go down the next set of stairs. If you can though, I highly recommend that you do this battle because he will drop you some good loot. You can always lower the difficulty to make it easier. With the enemy defeated, collect your loot or just ignore it and move on and continue following Freyr to get to these large gates.
This way.
Just interact with the gate to continue. On the other side of the gate, you're going to recognize this area. You were here with Freyr in a previous quest, and you should remember chopping this head off.
Aye, I don't doubt it.
Just left of this creature that you once dealt with, you're going to notice the wind vent over there. Just get a good angle and get your spear out, L2 and R1, and it will stick in from here. And that's going to enable you to cross it and cross the gap. We're in a brand new area now. Just keep moving ahead in this new area, and the area is called the Northern Wilds. You're going to come up to this big gate in front of you. There's no other loot in this section yet, apart from this health stone, and you just want to interact with this chain to open this next gate. With the gate open, just head through, and we're going to need to interact with an altar again, this time to turn day into night, because our path ahead is blocked. So when we do that, this path is going to uncover. You'll notice these red vines here. Freyr is going to point them out, so use a sigil arrow on them, and then get your Blades of Chaos to burn the vines away. And then just interact with the altar to remove that blockage. With it now being nighttime, you'll notice the blockage is removed. We're going to drop down this ledge now for a cutscene. During the cutscene, Heimdall is going to find you as you gave away your location. You're going to have a boss encounter now, and the first part of this is to defeat Goldtopper. This is quite an easy encounter. Heimdall is going to throw poison at you to try and get some Bifrost on you, or spell rather. Just dodge this when you can, because obviously the Bifrost is going to be of a concern. You can parry it back though if you're successful, and that will benefit you, but it's advised just to dodge it, it's easier. The attacks from Goldtopper aren't really that difficult. They're easy to manage. There'll be a few unblockable ones like that, but just barrel roll out of the way and keep a distance. What you're trying to do here is parry Goldtopper so that you can stun it and do some good damage with your strong melee attacks. So with a parry, just make sure you're getting as much attacks as you can. You won't have much time though, so do retreat as soon as you get a few blows in, and just rinse and repeat until you get Goldtopper's health low. You shouldn't have much difficulty with this, but if you do drop the difficulty to make things easier. Once you get the health low enough, you'll enter a short cutscene. That's going to be the end of Goldtopper, but then you're going to have to face Heimdall. This is a staged fight, and obviously if you know Heimdall, he's going to know every move that you're going to throw at him. So you're going to have to use the spear, because the spear is the only unpredictable attack that you've got. Now this first phase of the fight is quite easy. Just dodge any attack that Heimdall has, and you're just looking to hit him with the spear. Once you manage to get a few spears in him, just detonate them, and that will stun Heimdall. You can then rush him with R3. And after the little cutscene, Heimdall's now going to be on to what you're trying to do. So what you want to do now is just place spears in front of Heimdall, so when he walks over them, you can detonate them. You're just going to want to keep doing this until you fill his stun meter, which is a red bar at the top. With his stun meter filled, press R3 again. Again, after that cutscene, it's just the same old. You're going to be placing spears on the ground, and you just want to lure Heimdall over the spears just so you can cause damage to him. With the stun bar filled again, press R3 for a third time, and this time you're going to strike Heimdall. After striking Heimdall for the first time in that cutscene, you're now going to be able to cause melee damage to him. As you do melee damage to him, he is going to get this armor, as you can see at the top of the screen now. When he does have that Bifrost armor, the only way to get rid of that is with the spears. So get some into him and press triangle, and that'll work away his armor. With the armor gone, you can go back to doing melee damage to Heimdall. Once you get Heimdall low enough again, use R3 for a fourth time. After a much lengthier cutscene this time, you're going to be in the final phase of the Heimdall fight. Now, this is going to be a lot more difficult. He's going to be a lot more active and have a lot more attacks. But the premise is still the same. You're just going to be dodging. If you stay at a distance from Heimdall, it's quite easy to dodge any attack that he has. He will throw stuff at you. He will do a ground pound and all sorts. And if he does get you, he can cause a lot of damage. So do be careful. Get out of the way of this ground pound that he does, which has a big radius. And you just want to block and attack like any other boss encounter on this game. It's a great idea to make your attack after dodging an attack or parrying, as always. If you notice the two blue circles at any point, make sure you take full advantage of that with double L1, just to get a good stun on him. But eventually, when his health is all the way down, you're going to enter the final cutscene. You can always drop the difficulty as well if this is too difficult. With Heimdall dealt with, make sure you collect your loot, and we just want to exit the area with the Blades of Chaos via this wall here. Just proceed forward from here until you spot Atreus and Freyr carrying a brother. After climbing up the ledge and spotting them breaking through the wall, just go left and follow the path where you're going to find a hack silver on the ground to your left. From that hack silver, just keep moving forward, hop over this log, and you'll grapple across this gap, and you're going to regroup with your allies. There's going to be an enemy encounter here, so just deal with all the enemies. With all of the enemies clear and defeating the captain, you're now going to be on to the last phase of this quest. You just need to collect Freyr where this wall just exploded, and you're going to be in like a quick time event now where you're going to be running automatically. There'll be prompts to press on screen. Just follow that until you reach the safe place and a cutscene. And after the cutscene, that's going to bring you to the end of the Creatures of Prophecy quest. Now that we are back at Freyr's camp, it's a good chance to just upgrade anything that you can with any loot that you got. Pick up any loot that you missed through the enemy encounters. And with all that done, just spin around. You're going to follow Atreus out of Freyr's camp, and we're heading back to Sindri's house.
Maybe we should follow her.
There'll be a short cutscene, and you're going to unlock the Sense of Survival favor. As well as all the main quest guides, I do cover every single favor in the game as well. It's all linked down below in the video description. For this favor, you do just continue on this path and you interact with these tracks. And it's basically going to take you to the boat at the end, and you're going to explore a whole new region, a whole new area with loads of different side quests and whatnot. So it's advisable to do that right now because no main quest takes you there and you're going to get a ton of loot and whatnot. But I'm not going to cover that in this video guide, so do go and check the favor guide out if you want to see how that is done. But for now, we're just going to get on the boat and we're going to head to a Mr. Gateway to head back to Sindri's. The Mr. Gateway is just straight ahead, so just with your boat, just make your way to this shore over here, get off and boat to the end, just head to the Mr. Gateway to go back to Sindri's house. And once back at Sindri's house, this is going to be the end of this video. Again, there's another opportunity here to upgrade and stuff if you want to, and you'll interact with the table to start the next quest, unlocking the mask. But that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I do hope it's helped you. Remember to hit like, share and subscribe to support these videos. And again, there's more links down in the video description and pinned comment to a lot more God of War Ragnarok guides if you need them. Thank you for watching today, and until the next video, stay safe and peace out.